Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, it's a little bit later than the AM now. I think it's a little after 12. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to take the flashing off. I took the clay off the ears. All right, and I'm just going to show you how I do this. It's real simple. It's not hard. All right, we're going to take the flashing off with a little pair of. Just need to make a little room. There we go. Okay. Now, the back side is the stoned area, and now we're working on the front. So what we're going to do is I took the clay off, which popped right off with no problem. I took the clay out from behind the neck that I put underneath the neck on the back side. I took that clay out. That dries up. That's the one thing about that type of clay that it doesn't hold up well. So now we're just going to take the flashing off, and it's going to reveal the wall. And it's just simple. Why do you see how easy this comes off? Boom. That's it. Comes off real easy. All right. Really? Okay. That one's coming off a little harder. And I think it's because of the tape. Oh, no, I know what it is. There we go. Boom. Yeah, the tape was holding it up a little bit. So you can reuse this flashing with no problem. All right. So we're just going to pop that off. All right, I'm going to work my way around to the other side real quick. Wow, this stuff's really hard. I love it. Yeah, with the register keys, see these grooves that I put into the concrete? That makes it a little bit difficult to get, a little bit harder to take out than normal. Sometimes. There we go. I still got to clean the ears. I'm not going to do that on film because I have that. Oh, maybe I will when I go to do this. Come on. All right, I'm going to turn this a little bit because I need my right arm for this. It's some of them sticking a little more than others, and I think it's the tape that's causing it, most of it. It's trying to pull everything out at once. See how that whole thing came out? The tape will do that. Let me do this. These are vice grips. I would recommend using these because you can really get a good hold on something. Boom. That took a lot out at once. The only thing left is that one piece right up here. And this has got to go up. So this isn't going to, well, this will not be easy. This is going to be easy because, yep, it's easy because there was nothing stuck to it. All right. So now the only thing I have left to do is right where the stuff was stuck into the head, is smooth it out just a little bit. You know? Yeah. And that's pretty much how you take off the flashing. And now you have your register keys right here. The first thing I do, and I'm not going to do this on camera because I don't have enough time today. I got a couple things I got to go do before I go and do any of this, to tell you the truth. Now, anything that's like, you see here, see it's like, I'm going to sand that down a little bit. I'm going to take that off of there so this way it doesn't cause a lock All right, so I made these so they're spread apart, so this way it won't lock. It'll come right out with no problem. Um, the ears are a little bit dirty, but that's no big deal. It's easy to fix. It's easy to, you just jet in some water. I just put this water bottle on jet, and I jet it in behind the ear area. So this way nothing is sitting there. No clay is there. You don't want no clay left on the ear at all. And then what I do, yeah, this stuff is hard, man. Holy mackerel. Wow, what a nice difference. You know, so here's the steps that I'm going to do off camera. I'm going to clean the ears, both sides, to get the stuff off the ears. I'll show you what that is. See the chalk that's on the ears? I'm going to clean those. I'm going to sand down these high spots here on this here. I don't see any other place that I have to do that to. All right. Then what I'm going to do, between these register keys, I'm going to put pry spots. I'm going to put clay, and I'm going to smash it right up against the wall here. Clay worms, about the size of my finger. All right, and I'm going to make sure it sticks all the way out. All right, I don't want to get too close to the head, because what that is it's a spot where you're going to put your screwdriver in. All right, and the best way to do it is you take one screwdriver. There's going to be a clay piece here. There's going to be a clay piece here. All right, one on that side, one on that side. There'll be one down. I don't think I'm going to have to need one down the bottom, but I may put one. Yeah, I may put one like down in here. I'll put two down here just in case. Yeah, I might put one over here, right below this register key too, right above the ear on both sides. I'll put a pry noodle. So what you're doing is you're taking your clay, you're rolling it into a little ball, not a ball, a worm, and you're going to stick about the size of my finger, same shape, everything, and put it onto these spots. All right, onto the and about that far in. You want to make sure you're at least that far away from your sculpture. You don't want to be too close to that sculpture with your noodles. You want, or your pry spots. You want to make sure you're away from that. And I don't recommend ever, because of the shape of the thing. You want to make sure you're in before you pry. All right. If I have my pry noodle of worm about here, I want to make sure my screwdriver goes all the way in to the very end of that before I pry, because you got to remember the thickness of this plaster. If you're too far out to the outside when you're prying it apart, you're going to snap off. It's liable to break. All right. But I've made it very thick there, so I don't think we're going to have an issue there at all. I'm just going to try and get some of this junk off of here. So that's what I'm going to do. Sand it. This high spot here, because that'll cause a lock, because it's got stuff behind it. So I'll sand that down by hand. Any rough spots I'll sand down. I'm going to jet in the water behind the ears, to clean it. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Hold on. All right, so I'm going to do this. And make sure I get behind that ear real good to clean any of that clay out of there. I got to get paper towels to make sure the water's not running all over the place, or a bucket or something. And that cleans out the ear. Then the next thing I'm going to do is put the clay underneath the neck, all right, to make that reservoir again, all right. I'm going to make the reservoir for the neck, and all the way back behind this wall. I want to make sure that clay goes all the way up into there. I don't want it to stick out and then have a gap there or anything. I'm going to make sure the clay comes all the way out to at least there, right to the end of this part right here. And then I can I can start plastering this side. All right, no, wait a minute, I'm getting ahead of myself, sorry. Okay, so I put the clay pry spots in, all right? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 pry spots, all right? Then after I put that clay smashed into the wall, you just want to put it into the wall a little bit. Then I'm going to take Vaseline and I'm going to start smearing it all over this. I'm going to make sure I have Vaseline all over this stone, all right, on the surface of it. Then what I'll do from there is I'll start stoning it, and then when I go to separate it, I grind the outer edge down to where I know it's fairly thick, you know, right where both stones are nice and thick. So I'll probably grind it down to about that far. All right, it'll be ground down about that far. All right, and that'll still leave me about the tip of my finger of pry area. All right, so that's perfect because it'll be in deep enough. All right, and then what I do is I just stick my pry bars in, or my pry screwdrivers. I use real big screwdrivers that I bought cheap at and you'll see those when I go to pry it apart. I bought them cheap at Harbor Freight. You know, I think they were like $2 each or something like that. And they're big screwdrivers, flathead screwdrivers. And what you do is when you're prying it, you push one way and the other, that way or that way. You know what I mean? That's how you get your separation. And then all of a sudden that'll separate. And when it separates, usually the back half goes off first. Then the front half is always stingier because of all the locking points. All right, the ears get locked because the plaster's all up in here now. It's all inside that ear. Everything here forward is all locking points. The ears will get totally destroyed when I do this. The thing I want to make sure I do when I pry this apart is the back side drops off, and then I make sure that this front wall on this side is really thick and strong, because I'm going to take a block of wood. Let's pretend that this is the face here. This is this side. Let's pretend that this is this side. I'm going to take a block of wood and then take my hammer and bang it and keep loosening it and try to pry, pop it off. I don't bang it from down the bottom because it's not going to come away because of the chin. The chin will lock it. You need to pry it off this way. So it has to come forward and drop down. So it comes off like this and drops. This way you can get out from underneath the chin. Everything should be locked. The details will all be in there. It'll be really nice. So that's what I plan on doing today. I'm going to get this thing really, really ready for the front half off camera, and then I'll do the other half. Then I'll do the second half. So we're going to be in good shape. This is going to be really nice. This is going to be a nice mold. I think we're going to be in good shape. I'm looking at this. I'm thinking, my God, I hope that's not a locking spot. I have to look at this very carefully because it looks like it's back too far. I don't think so. That side's good. This side looks like it's a little. It's not at the height of the spot. I don't know. I'm not going to reshape that neck now. I'll get it off, and I'm not worried about it. Even if I have to heat it up, I'll get it off. All right, let's. I don't want to oversaturate everything because I got the water. I got to get the towels in here first. All right, so you've seen how I pulled it apart. There we go. That's an update. That's just, we'll be back this afternoon around 2 p.m. to start this next process, getting this part done here. But off camera, I'm going to do all this little extra work. This way you guys don't have to sit through all that. Sound good? All right, I'll see you guys around 2 p.m. today. All right. All righty, that's it. That's all I wanted to do. I wanted to show you guys this. I wanted to make sure I got that documented on how to take that pry off of there, or the dividing wall, taking the aluminum off. You know, and I just took a pair of needle nose vice grips and just pulled that stuff right off of there, no problem. Now I got register keys, so this way when I have the two halves, it'll go together, and that locks it into place to make sure that it's lined up. I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be a really, really nice mask. I have no doubt it's going to be really nice. So, all right, guys, let me bounce. I gotta get some other work done first before I can go on to doing this. I'll see you guys around 2 p.m. today. All right, peace.